The viscosity of a fluid is related to the time scale that it takes to relax its structure. As the viscosity increases, this time gets longer and longer. In fact, if the time gets long enough, then we say that the liquid is becoming a glass. If it gets really long, it becomes a very solid like glass. For example, window glass is a liquid, but the relaxation time is so long that in our lifetime we won't see a relaxation. But if it's not quite so glass-like, then the relaxation time gets long, but not so long, and we can still see the effects of the flow. We can still see the flow of the fluid, but very, very slowly. Viscosity is very, very large. We can take advantage of that to make materials out of these glasses. For example, Viscosity made an apple by blowing sugar when it was forming a glass. He heated it up, the viscosity decreased, he worked it, he blew this beautiful apple structure, and then he let it cool, and it became a solid. So the unusual feature of glasses is that the viscosity depends very sensitively on temperature. Small changes of temperature can lead to very large changes in viscosity, and eventually the viscosity gets so large that the relaxation can no longer occur, and the liquid becomes a solid. Eventually, the viscosity increases so much that relaxation cannot occur in a measurable time, and the liquid becomes a solid. We can understand the behavior of a glass by looking at the molecular origin, and we can go back to our same picture of particles inside the fluid. As we increase the concentration of the particles, as we make them more and more crowded, as we make them more and more difficult to move over one another, then the particles can't move by individually moving over one another. They have to move in some collective fashion. Many of the particles have to move all together. This takes a much longer time. And as the temperature gets a little bit lower, the length, the number of molecules that have to move together increases, and the viscosity increases very rapidly. The behavior of a glass depends very much on how its viscosity changes with temperature. Some materials change the viscosity relatively slowly as the temperature changes. In fact, this is how Viscosity took advantage of this glass-like behavior of sugar and water to blow this beautiful glass structure. The viscosity changes with temperature, but not that rapidly. So Bill was able to work it. He was able to blow this beautiful structure and then let it slowly cool and solidify to become a glass. These type of materials are exactly the same, whether they're sugar and water or they're window glass. They have the same behavior, that their viscosity changes slowly enough with temperature that you can work them, that you can blow them. You can blow the glass either into an apple or into a glass structure and then let it cool and become a solid.